everybody! Happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of your favorite podcast, Shiz and Giggles, the show where we talk about everything and basically anything. My name is Christine, and I will be your host for today, but I am never alone, as you know. My first co host is Dancing Queen, child model and actor, and is super passionate about events. She speaks Hebrew, and she is an island hopper. A lean, mean, event-producing machine. It's Jenna Hasher.
Hi, good to be
Hey,
here.
how you doing, Jenna?
Good. It's been a long day. But it's been good. It's been a good day.
It's been good. The clouds are out. The sun
I
is
know.
shining.
It's a beautiful day to be
Good
outside.
It's a beautiful day outside. Well, we're glad to have you, and now I'm going to introduce my second co-host. So her favorite hobbies are fine dining and making money. She is forever a sorority girl, lifelong student, aviation enthusiast, and wannabe chopped champion. Most importantly, Barack Obama follows her on Twitter. It's Andrea Lyons. Woo!
Hi.
Hi,
Hi.
Andrea.
Hi, Christine. Hi, Jenna. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. You know what? I'm feeling fabulous. Fabulous. Now, listen, I will tell you before we get into today's topic, I got a silent co-host here, so
Awesome.
I'm gonna have her say hi in a minute. She's probably gonna be like, no, don't make me. No, don't make me. But it might be real. So hang on a second.
Okay.
Let me show you my person. Wait, is this the right way?
Yeah, keep going.
Wave to the people.
Wow.
It's Jasmine.
It's Jasmine. It's Jasmine.
She's like, please.
I know. She
It's like
took
I'm
my
working. I'm working.
She's totally working, but she also totally took my seat. So I'm
So now you
over
got to
here.
put her in the spotlight.
No way. She's doing amazing. Such a
She's
great
doing
job.
great. She's
So
doing
great. Since like yesterday after the evening, right, Jenna?
Mhm.
Jenna, you're working too. Technically, we're kind of like
A little
taking
break.
a little break. Small break.
Mhm.
Just a little break. Well, I'm happy to have you both here for today's episode, as always. So, just to kick things off for this week, let's talk about a trending topic. This week, it's about rebranding yourself. Ooh. So, from a young age, there's pressure to decide what you want to do with your life, plan where you go to college, and then decide where you want to work after college. An important aspect about growing up is making those decisions as well as knowing when something isn't working out. And then you have to decide how to rebrand yourself and take your next steps. Here at AAP, we work with all kinds of events and are able to learn and grow from each and every person that we meet. This strengthens the company brand and allows us to grow individually as well. So, just to get this topic started, I'd like to ask my co-hosts and the people watching 3 questions. So I'm going to give everybody some time to think about it, but we're going to start with our first question, okay? Cool. So first question is, how have you grown and remade yourself over time?
Biggin coming out the gate, Christine.
Really, truly. Who wants to go first?
Jenna does.
I guess I do.
She already opened her mouth.
How have you grown and remade yourself over time? Okay. I think I'm still pretty young. I'm 20. I'm freshly gonna graduate in a month, which is exciting. So that's how I'm growing. But I definitely think I've done a ton of growing and rebranding while in college. When you turn 18, you think you're an adult because it says you're an adult.
20, you think you're an adult.
I think I'm an adult. I'm not. But just there are so many things that I feel like you just don't know until you live them. Like you just literally cannot have the life experience until you've been old. So I just think over the past even 3 years, just being in college and doing internships and taking classes and being exposed to different cultures, because I grew up in one town, I've been there my whole life, and now I'm in a different town. So just experiencing new things, that's how I've kind of grown, and it's taken little bits and pieces from things and made it who I am today.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Well, as someone who is twice Jenna's age, and then my mom is the best. She's like, "You're still a baby." I love that when she says that. You're still a baby. So as someone who is twice Jenna's age, I will tell you that I have grown and reiterated so much. I feel like the key is always to, or I guess the question is like, how have I, is that the question, Christine?
Yes.
How have you rebranded yourself over the course of time? I think having perspective in looking back to, I guess it starts with rebranding always starts with, am I happy with who I am right now as a person? Am I happy with how I show up in the world? And if you're not happy with how you show up in the world, then that's where the rebranding and development and growth starts. And if you're thinking about like, here are the areas that I wish I showed up better, then that's where the growth starts. That's where the rebranding happens. So I feel like I'm in a constant state of that because I think at least once a year on my birthday and sometimes on New Year's Day, I say to myself, am I happy with how I am showing up in the world? And in what ways am I not showing up to the fullest extent? Which ways could I be better in how I show up to the world? So I think it's been like, gosh, a 40-year tenure of just continuous growth, right? It's just been continuous. And I can definitely say that I've grown in my compassion for other people. I've grown in compassion and empathy, I think, are the two biggest areas that I've grown into. I know we always tell our clients, like, hey, just remember, these are just people, right? We too want stuff to be perfect. We're like the queens of that, like where you come up with a plan and you want it to be A, then B, then C, then D, then E, then F, and it go in that order. But then like people get involved, and then it's like, we'll see what happens, So, um, I definitely will say just continuous growth, all the way through. But I've grown tremendously in the level of empathy and compassion that I have for other people.
That's a very good way to put it. I know for me, I also, there was a quote in a book a while, like one of those young adult books that I read in the library when I was in like middle school or something. And it was like, grow up to be the person that the younger version of yourself always wanted to be.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't really know what I was going to be when I was older, but I'm pretty proud of how far I've developed as a person.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Second question.
Second question. Do you think people ever stop growing and changing?
Yeah, I'll answer that. Yes. Yes. I think you can stop growing. I think you will always be changing. And I think it's either going to be, what did somebody put it? You're either going to be bitter or you're going to be better. So, because that's what life does. Life changes, and it changes you whether you like it or not. So, whether life changes you for good, that's up to you. If it changes you for bad because you maybe intentionally didn't seek out, what is this situation here to teach me so that I can grow from it? But if you just take it, then you're going to get bitter. And so, yeah, I think growth, what is it? John Maxwell says it. He says, um, oh, I don't want to mess it up. Basically, I know it ends with, um, growth is optional, right?
Mm,
So, like, you getting older is like mandatory, but growth is optional, So I think that, yes to your questions.
and Jenna?
I was gonna say, I mean, like right off the bat when you said, "Do people ever stop growing or changing?" I was gonna say, no, we always keep going and stuff. But I think Andrea makes a really good point. Like, definitely, with you never stop changing, but you can stop growing because growing is optional. And like, I never thought about it that way, but it's so true. It the saying of you can't teach an old dog new tricks, like that doesn't exist unless you want it to exist, kind of thing. So
Agreed.
Agreed.
What
Also
about you,
agreed.
Kristen?
Yeah, well, at first I was going to be like Jenna, the optimistic side of thinking.
Like everyone,
Yeah,
of course, everyone grows.
of course. But some people, they're kind of stubborn and they're like, I don't need to grow. Like, I am
yeah,
great as is. And then they don't
Mhm.
understand that, everybody has areas that they can grow in, even if it's like just a little bit pushing
Yeah.
themselves a little bit more. every day.
Or grow cynical. Like you can grow
Mm.
cynical or grow angrier, or
Ah.
you can grow in those ways, but that doesn't mean like positive growth either.
Mhm.
So I guess I could talk myself out of that same argument and be like, yeah, you always grow and you always change, but you grow cynical, or you can grow negatively as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
That's scary to think about.
Isn't it
Mm.
though? Isn't it though?
Dang. Okay, well, I guess we'll move on to our third question.
On that note,
On that note, I hope our viewers at home have answered their questions on their own so
Hmm.
far. So our third question is, what is an aha moment that you've had about yourself, and how did you act on it? I'll give everybody a couple seconds to
Yeah.
think.
Ooh.
This is a
Like
big one.
an aha moment that I've had about myself and how did I act on it?
Yes.
Jenna, what do you got?
I think mine definitely happened this year.
Mhm.
So, very, I guess, monumental time in my life. I'm graduating college.
Woo.
And I was kind of throwing myself back in the fall. I was throwing myself a little bit of a pity party. I didn't know what I wanted to do after school. I had no plans because I had a plan. I wanted to work on cruise ships. COVID happened. That went away. So I was throwing myself a little pity party instead of getting on top of my stuff. Um, and I think right around when I actually got this internship and I felt a little bit more secure, I really buckled myself down. I was like, all right, you're stop. It's time to grow up. You're not a kid anymore,
Mhm.
and you really just got to own up to your stuff. If you do something wrong, you got to own up to it. If you do something right, you got to own up. It was a matter of I needed to realize that I'm not I'm not 16 anymore, and I need to start acting like I want to be treated as an adult, which means I need to start acting like
And you know what is so funny about what you're saying, Jen? And I'm like, that is so good. Because I'm gonna tell you something. I don't think that has anything to do with age. I think everybody comes to realizations at a different stage in life. So I don't even think it is age, it's stage.
mm,
It's like, when do you hit the point where you go, I'm only gonna make it this way one time that I know
Mhm.
of, right? I'm only going through this direction called life one way. It's a one-way direction, and I'm only going through it once that I know of, right? And so, what do I want that to look like for myself? And what do I want to do with the time? Because the time, you will never have enough of it, you know?
Mm.
And so, what you're saying, I don't even think is about age. It really is
no,
about when you hit that place in your life and you go, I've got to buckle down. I've got to
yeah,
get my act
exactly.
together. And sometimes that happens, I always say, those kid prodigies, I feel like they figured out at like 12. And then and then the rest of us are like lucky you're in your 20s, but let me tell you something. I know 50-year-olds that just came to that conclusion, 55-year-olds that just came to that conclusion of, oh my gosh, I'm almost out here. We out here now. Like, this is it. I'm halfway done with life. What can I show for it, or what do I have to say for it? So I'm telling you that is such a critical decision point to make when you have that mindset and then you act on it. For sure. Wow. I don't know what the question was, Christine. What was it?
What is an aha moment that you've had about yourself, and how did you act upon it?
Um, okay. Okay. I've had so many. I've had so many. Recently, I had one like 2 weeks ago. You guys were building this studio
Mm.
for our local folks. For those who don't know, we have a virtual video studio. We record videos, edit them, get them turned around for events, for clients, things that we have going on. Well, I embarked upon this journey of we need to build a place for our clients to come to that is lovely. It's gorgeous. Like, you look at Jenna's background, that's a beautiful outside shot and it's panoramic. It's gorgeous. We need an inside place just like it, where it's like, I have the things we need to record and all of that. Well, I had a moment of freak out panic like 3 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, this is so expensive. Why am I doing this? I don't need to do this. This is fine. We're doing pretty good. We don't need to be taking on new stuff and extra people, and we got to go all this stuff. one of the things that helped me is that I came to the realization of is that the guy from Netflix, the president of Netflix, he said for like the shows like House of Cards and those when they first started doing shows, he talked about how they just said to themselves, if we're going to fail, we're going to do it in a blaze of glory. And I was like, I get it. It won't be because you didn't put enough money at it or there wasn't enough attention to it or you played it scared, right? Like, oh, we won't like designate enough money for the project, so therefore it's not going to be a good product at the end or whatever. So I'm telling you, that was like my aha moment recently when I was like, you know what? If it fails, we got to fail hard and fail fast so that we know for sure it didn't work because it didn't work, but not because we didn't put time in it, we didn't put attention to it, we didn't put enough money to it, we didn't put enough people to it, not for the standard reasons. It just needs to not work because it didn't work. You know. And so just kind of that's been like my most recent like aha moment of like that's how you grow, right? Hood sayings, like neighborhood sayings, like hood sayings, scared money don't make money. That's a hood saying. So that's my most recent one.
Wow, that's an
What about you,
incredible way to put
Christine?
it.
Yeah, what about you?
I mean, I guess just to end Andrea's little spiel, it's just really good to always put your all into everything, and I think that's a really like core of all about presentation. We always go all out because
All out.
what was it? What did you say? Fail with glory?
Oh yeah, he said we're gonna go down in a blaze of glory. Like
Yes.
we're gonna fail in a blaze of glory. It won't be because
Yes.
of not enough attention to it or whatever.
I really feel like that's like the epitome of AAP, especially
Also,
because we just
good
do
SAT word, epitome. Hey.
epitome. I mean, yeah. Anyways,
But
I
you're
guess
right.
the
I think
aha
you're
moment
right.
was really good.
I think you're right. Like culturally speaking, I would definitely say that I think everybody that works at AAP is like full out, full throttle,
For
just full
sure.
throttle,
For sure.
right?
Like Miss Jenna over here. Oh my goodness.
Jenna is like, you think about Jenna being 20 and you're like, no way. If you guys, if people worked with Jenna, you would think she's probably like 36. Like that's
Yeah.
about the age that you I mean, she's full throttle, full throttle. We were in here an event last night till 9:30 and she was like, "Oh, by the way, I got to go like I had took a quiz last night, you guys, and I got a 92 or took a test. I got a 92." Who did you
98,
get?
right, actually?
92 for this.
No, I got a 92 on the exam I took last night.
Yeah.
That's still good. That's still great.
Last night after like a 12-hour day,
That's
and it's like,
crazy.
whoa, I went home and had carrot cake and went to bed. That's what I did.
That also
So,
sounds incredible.
but I also think the same for you, Christine. So I know we got a jet, we got a boogie
Got
because
a boogie. Yes,
we got a
yes.
boogie. We have an
Well,
event. That's
thank
why,
you
guys.
everybody for your questions and answers. We're gonna move on to our segments now.
Boop boop.
So let's go and start with Jenna's segment, which is who's that? Who said that? Who said that?
Who's that?
It's me. All right. So for our first quote of today, going along with the theme, I found some quotes about change. All right. So the world as we have created it is as a process of our own thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm going to give you the answer choices. So the answer choices are A, Albert Einstein,
Mm-hmm.
B, Steve Jobs, C, Mark Zuckerberg.
The world as we have created it is a process of our thinking. Jobs.
I think it's Jobs.
I think it's
Christine?
Jobs.
Yeah, Steve Jobs.
It
No!
is Albert Einstein.
Whoa!
It is Albert Einstein.
I don't know about that.
So,
I feel like Jobs would have said it. I don't
I mean,
Andrea said
maybe
that's
he
wrong.
requoted it.
know.
Tell quote of the day that. I don't know.
All right, next one. We'll get it.
Next
We'll
one,
get it.
next one.
Next one. Change will not come if we wait for some other person or if we wait for some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for.
Gandhi.
We are the change that we seek. First
Yeah.
off, that wasn't even a choice.
Okay. All right. Keep going, then I'm ready.
Mother
Buddha.
Teresa.
Nelson Mandela.
Oh,
Yes, okay. Okay. That's it.
Nelson
We
Mandela.
must be the change we see
Barack
in the world.
Obama.
Barack Obama. Okay.
Or
Mm-mm.
Elon Musk.
Elon. Oh.
No. Well, okay. If Barack Obama said it, he said it because Nelson Mandela. Somebody said we must be the change we see in the world. So I feel like
Yeah.
whoever
That's a
said
different
that,
quote. That's a different
I
quote.
think that one was Mother
'Cause
Teresa,
that
right?
one might be it.
Oh. Okay. I'll go
oh,
with your first
Barack
option.
Obama. Barack Obama, because it's
Okay.
that. I'm starting with the change. Remember, he ran on change
Mm-hmm.
and all that stuff. So
Oh.
I was change will not come if we wait for another. Yeah, totally Barack. Bay
You're
Rock.
correct. It is
Mhm.
Barack.
Ooh.
Yeah. He
We
follows
wish
me on
or
Twitter. Okay,
we are the change we wish to see in the world. I think it's Gandhi or something.
okay.
So,
All right. Okay.
but,
That's where
all
I
right.
thought it was from. But he well then Barack, I mean, love him, but he kinda
He paraphrased.
he paraphrased. That's a good way to put it. He paraphrased.
That's okay.
All right. And our last quote. They
Okay.
always say time changes things, but you actually have to change them yourself.
Ooh. Okay.
Is it A?
Jonas Brothers. They had a song like that. You were
A.
saying?
That
Andy
answer.
Warhol,
Oh.
B. Maya Angelou, or C. Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
All
All right. Well, I don't know anything about Warhol except for his paintings, so I don't know what type of person he would say.
Okay.
You're going with Ruth, okay? That's what you're
Yeah,
saying? Okay.
Yeah.
They always say time changes things, but you actually have to change them yourself. I'm gonna go, ooh, that actually is messing me up.
Yeah.
That actually word, because I feel like
It's like
I don't know if
modern.
my Angela. Yeah, it's very modern and I feel like Maya's a bit more like
Timeless.
Casual.
decisive, right? Use
Mm.
decisive language. It's
Yeah.
not
That's true.
actually. Um,
You want me
all
to give you
right,
your
all
options
right.
again? Or you got it?
Okay, Andy Warhol, Maya Angelou, and
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
RBG. All right, Andy Warhol.
Christine, what are you locking in?
Ruth.
Ruth?
hmm
All right, Andrea, you are correct. It is Andy Warhol.
Ooh.
Process of elimination.
Oh.
I would never, and also attorneys, BTW, if you ever hung out with them, they're not the ones that would go, but actually, that's not kind of how they talk. Like, it needs to be like stated.
Precise.
So it's precise language. And so
Precise.
so that was just a lucky guess. Process of elimination.
We got it
Awesome.
right.
All right.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you,
that is
Jenna.
the end of my segment.
That was fun. Super fun.
That was very fun. One of these days, I'm going to get it very correct. But thank you for your segment. And now
See
we're
you in the
going
next
to move on to Andrea's segment, which is You've Got This.
I am so glad to be with you all again today. Good to see you again, Jenna. Saw you in the last segment. Christine, good to see you. Good to see you.
Hello.
Hello.
It's been a while.
It's been so long. I wanted to just really quickly talk about, we were giving like compliments, or I was giving compliments to you all and to each other. And I thought what we could do is have 24 hours of compliments for You've Got This. And so I know I'm here for it, right? Like I eat compliments for breakfast. And so I'm going to be seeing you all for the next 24 hours, today, tomorrow, all day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. So I thought what we could do though is like with each other, you were talking about growth. I thought maybe what we could do is tell each other an area with which we've seen them grow. So then that way, because like, I mean, we haven't known each other all very long, probably not even a year. Each of you, no, yeah, it's not even been a year for you. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to see what kind of growth we've had. So I thought I would start. And so I'll say, Christine, I think I've known you since, let's say September-ish, right? Time frame.
Around there.
Yeah. So one of the things that I've seen in your growth, and this, by the way, comes from the fact that if you lose weight, like you're usually the last to know because you're like, everybody goes, you're losing weight. And you're like, thank you. Like I just am eating less, I guess, but you're until your clothes tell you or other people tell you, it's kind of can sometimes be like, you may
Invisible.
Yeah, invisible. So I thought we could talk to each other's growth like that.
Aw.
So, Christine, I wanted to tell you about your growth that I've seen in the last since September, however many months that was. One of the biggest things that I've seen in your growth is, and I don't know where it stems from, but you let the tiger out more, and I love it. It's more, and it's not in a bad way. It's just being more aggressive, being more of a predator rather than prey, which is like, I know that sounds so bad and aggressive, but it's true. It's like, it's not wait for something to happen, but more like go to make things happen. And
Mhm.
when you first came to the company, you were like more timid and like didn't want to rock the boat too much. And now I feel like you're a little more comfortable letting it rock, like rock this boat a little bit and let's just see what happens. So I think that is so cool. It's like a really great element of your growth that I've seen because it makes you um, be able to say what you want and what you need in any given situation. Like, here's what I need to be successful, or here are the things, the tools that I need to be equipped with in order to do what I need to do better. And I think that's such an important thing to be able to say. Jenna, I would say for you, it's so wild because you're such a smarty pants. Like Jenna can always everybody with very little effort, I feel like. But what I've noticed, at least my dealings with all A people, is that things come easy for them. Like, they know they can get away with things on like the fact that they can usually do it for school and stuff. And what I have seen with Jenna has been so crazy. It's like instead of when you first came, you were like, "Yeah, I got this. I've been doing this a while." What I've seen from you that's been so amazing to watch is you have not only did you pick up on things quickly, but you picked up and then also have been thinking of ways to improve, right? And I've seen you do more and more of that. Like, we do it this way, but this isn't like the best way. There's probably a better way to do this. That's that continuous improvement piece that I've just seen you grow in. So I wanted to highlight those two things. Okay, Jenna, your turn.
All right. Well, thanks. Christine, I said, I've only been working here a few short months. It's feel like a while. It was a few short months. And with Christine, I just think, kind of going along with Andrea said, is that you've gotten a little bit like you're able to just go off. I feel like a lot more now, and also you're such a good like multitasker almost. Like we're in the other room doing things, and she's on a session, and she's like, "Well, do you need help with anything else?" Even though like she's already got something to do. So just I feel like, and I don't know if that's more comfortable with the environment or whatever it is, but I just feel like you you have like your hand in everything. Like you're on the beat. You got it.
Thanks.
And then with Andrea, oh my god, what is there to say about Andrea? There's so much.
Oh my gosh.
Um, I think that I mentioned this we maybe like a few weeks ago is we have like little staff trainings and stuff every once in a while, and I was telling Andrea that I've never had a boss that has cared about their employees as much as she does. Um, so many bosses like they just care if you get the job done. If you get the job done, that's good enough. You go home. Where she really wants to see her employees like grow. She wants to see them develop their skill sets, and she holds these little orientations and trainings for us so that we can make our skill set go to the next level. And just that's something I have never experienced before, and I don't know if a lot of if people my age and in internships have experienced that, where their boss cares about them even further off than just being in their company kind of thing.
Thank you so much, Jenna. Like, that's a great thing you say that. That makes me feel so good because that's one of my compassion, empathetic things that I've grown in a lot. So I really appreciate you saying that because I'm working super hard on it.
Well,
Because,
you're achievement.
well, my natural inclination is like, just get your dirt done and that's it. But like, just in terms of like, what would I want if I were Christine at Christine's stage in life? Like, what would that
Exactly.
be for me? So I've really been working on that. Thank you. I appreciate you noticing. Okay,
Aw.
Christine, you're up.
My turn. I just wanted to thank everybody. Sorry, I was not sure when people would stop talking, and I'm really scared of cutting people off all the time. So thank you both very much. I will cry, but it's like backlit. You can't really see much. But I'm gonna start with Jenna. Like Jenna said, I've only known her for a couple months. But when she first joined, I assumed like, oh, like she's new. Like the first person that she would ask for help would probably be me because I'm also an intern. But she only went through that phase for probably like 2 weeks because then after that it was me asking her for where to go because she knew everything already. And then she goes out of her way like on her own time to research other people's positions or like what they do just in case like they would have questions on it. Like she always knows what I have to do. And then I'm like, oh, I didn't actually know how to do this. And she's like, oh, you just do this, this, this. And I'm like, wow. She's so great. She's like the mom friend that everybody needs. You know, like where they pack you PB&J sandwiches. Like she always has it like in her bag. But instead of the sandwiches, it's like, oh, where's this link? Oh, yeah, here you go. Oh, wow, thank you. Thanks. It's perfect. Thank you, Jenna, for being so fast. Literally, and the mom friend so fast. Like I was supposed to be the mom friend, but no, you were the mom friend so fast. And Andrea, just like what Jenna said, she's really trying to take the time to put herself into our shoes, and it's really nice, especially since we're students, so we don't really know how to manage our time, and we don't really know how to prioritize things. So Andrea is taking the time to be like, hey, let's let's organize our priorities and our responsibilities. And it's also like, I mean, I've only been here less than a year, but I've seen her like prioritization with both our employees and how she runs the company change in a matter of like 2 months. And it's so much more efficient now and so much more, it's like a well-oiled machine the way that things are run now. And I'm so proud of both the team as a whole and Andrea for creating this safe space to help us grow as employees.
Thanks, Christine. I really appreciate that so much. Yay. Okay, we gotta
Yay.
go because you gotta be a production supervisor in 9 minutes.
9 minutes. Okay, well, thank you, Andrea, for your session.
You
I
get in the
Out your
mindset.
bag.
No, it's so many sessions.
Thank you for this compliment session. It was very nice, very needed on this sunny Friday. So now we're just going to go on to my segment, which is Clever Changes. All right, everybody, we're going to go super quick, super fast. So have you ever found yourself, your kid, they print out a 2-page paper report and they're like, Mom, I need it stapled or else they're going to take off 5 points. And you're like, well, I don't have any staples. I have the solution for you. What you're going to need is your kid's report, okay? This is the front page of the report. I kind of smushed a bug on there just now, so don't look at that. This is the back page of the report, okay? You also need a pair of scissors. Yes. So what you're going to do, you're going to take your 2 pieces of paper, you're going to get it all nicely stacked together. You're going to fold the left corner down like a dog ear, whatever that's called. You know how it is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're going to just fold it down. Can you see? Can you guys see? Gotcha.
I'm glad you got 2 different colors. That's helpful.
Oh, yeah. It's because one time I had 2 white papers, and I was like, oh, you can't see that. So we have it folded, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to take your scissors, and you're going to make 2 little slits. 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you see, these slits are next to each other, and it makes a little
tab.
A little tab, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
What we're going to do is we're going to fold the tab over, like so. And, whoa, it's stapled. And if you want, you can also push this tab in so that the staple stays in place. And then fold it back down. So we have it neatly folded, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And here's your staple-less staple. Woo!
Everybody remember that. Yeah,
Everybody,
that's a good one.
Down.
Yeah, keep it down.
Keep it down. Not it down. Keep the paper down. Okay. Thank you. That was your clever change of the week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alrighty. So it's getting to that time of the podcast where we're starting to wind things up. Wind things up? Yes.
Down?
Wind things down.
Wind down.
Wind down. Now, Andrea or Jenna, do you guys have anything that you'd like to say before we end the show?
Have a great weekend, everybody. Take the next 24 hours to be considerate and thoughtful and complimentary of those that are around you and take notice of their growth.
That was sweet.
Thank you.
Jenna?
Thank you.
Girl, I am just trying to make it through these next 24 hours.
Right, you're right. But if you have the chance, everybody go outside. It is beautiful. It is sunny. It is
Beautiful.
cloudy. The sun is screaming. I'm kind of sweating, but it's okay. It's all for the vitamin D. All right. And with that note, remember that our podcast is every Friday at 4 p.m. Be sure to tune in to check us out. You never know what you're going to learn. And I guess we'll see you next week. Thank you for joining in.
Bye.